We're going to have some fun. We're going to do a comparison of my little buddy Shyster Boy, who I really admire. I see a lot of good in him. I see greatness in him. But let's do some compare and contrast. And there's three other characters who we know something about who compare and contrast really, really well. The first is Thorfinn. Now, some of you are going, I don't remember Thorfinn in Berserk. Of course you don't. He wasn't in Berserk. He's in Vinland Saga. He's in Vinland Saga. He's the star of Vinland Saga. But both of them compare very interestingly because Thorfinn grew up with Askeladd as a surrogate dad murderer and stepfather, whereas Shyster Boy had no one. But who should come along in Shyster Boy's life? Guts. And who should come along in Thorfinn's life? Einar. Both of them have dramatic change in their development. With Thorfinn, he's got Einar to keep him planted on the ground and to instill upon him some moral values that aren't really there with many mercenaries. Shyster Boy, not so much. But along comes a fellow named Guts. And Guts has been through a life much more like Thorfinn than Shyster Boy, living by the sword, not knowing if his next sword fight is going to leave him impaled, dead on a cold war ground. We don't know, but Guts has been through a lot, and Guts has a lot to teach. But Guts is no mentor. He has no desire to teach this little orphan boy, this little street urchin that's tagging along. But Guts is a changed man also. He's been changed by good people and bad people, and he's becoming more and more of a good person. Now, what's Guts going to teach him? Morals 101? No. Swordsmanship? Very likely. How to survive? Absolutely. Will he teach him things like tactics? Probably not. He'd have to learn that from Koska. But Shyster Boy now is tagging along behind Guts, and that's a good thing because he doesn't have to worry about dying every single day. He doesn't have to worry about the plague getting to him. He doesn't have to worry about heretics taking over his life, and he doesn't have to worry about the Holy See coming after him just for firewood, if you know what I mean. He's got Guts, and Guts is a protector extraordinaire. So Shyster Boy can grow dramatically under the tutelage of Guts. And that's a really great advantage. Now, does that mean he's going to have all of the physical attributes of Guts? Probably not. Guts is almost superhuman in his ability to fight. But he can put a big, too heavy sword into the hands of Shyster Boy and say, practice with this. So Shyster Boy can learn a lot from Guts, and he can even learn a compassion from Guts, because Guts is developing that side of his personality dramatically. Guts cares. He cares a lot. Now let's compare him to he whose name should never be mentioned again. I would do this, but this is Attack on Titan t-shirt. But you know what I mean. The evil bird boy. Well, he who must not be named is a total narcissist. Absolutely cares about no one but himself. Shyster Boy has been put into that position because nobody cares about him. Nobody cares about him. He is just riffraff. He is a street urchin. No one's going to take him in and say, you poor little baby boy, I'm going to make sure no one is doing that. So Shyster Boy has it tougher by far than Griffith, because Griffith early on gets surrounded by a whole bunch of mercenaries who think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, as the saying goes. But Shyster Boy does have two paths he can take. He can take the path of narcissism and be like Griffith, maybe without an entourage following him. Or he can become the best that he can become by following Guts. And I'm happy to say he makes the decision to follow Guts. He's going to be more like Guts. And Guts is teaching him, without even knowing it, about things like compassion and swordsmanship and ferocity and being the so-called bad man, the dangerous man. Talk to Jordan Peterson about that. Oh, we do have a video about that on our Patreon. So great things are going to happen to Shyster Boy, and he'll be able to thank Guts and some others. He's going to have a lot of people to thank, a lot of people whose wisdom he can take in, and I'm expecting great things from Shyster Boy, provided he lives. They're up against the Holy See and his formidable army. It's coming up. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to do everything I can to prepare for the upcoming episodes. If you would be so kind to like and subscribe.